What is up, you action figure lovers out there? Master Marvel here again, and tonight I'm bringing you a review of these 80 years Marvel Legends Captain America and Iron Man, and these guys are gorgeous, man. I love them. They're so sick. I've been anticipating this for a while now. I've been sitting on this Iron Man for easily a month now, waiting to get this cap, and he finally popped up, so I feel it's fair to do these two dudes together because they're like some of our most classic, some of our earliest of heroes from Marvel Comics. And 80 years of them now, man. So, like I said, look how sexy these dudes are in there, man. Look at these new Marvel Legends. Oh, come on, man. It's like Hasbro's just trying to make things perfect now. Not even just great, just perfect. And, whew. I've been so excited about these. So, of course, they're going with the most classic look of them. And, seems like, I don't know, Marvel Legends has done so much with these characters over the years. And I wish I had more options because I'm going to be doing some comparisons here. I mean, I've got quite a bit of stuff from Hasbro, you know, through the years, but it's the Toy Biz stuff because I really didn't even start collecting until 2007, and by then a lot of that earlier stuff was already gone. So a good Captain America from Toy Biz and some good Iron Mans. I don't have many of them. I wish I did because one of the Captain Americas, like I think it's from the Face Off, was probably the most comparable to this one right here as far as the standards go of it. It was just that great of a figure. The Iron Man, there's been some goods, there's been some bads, but I think really, if anybody's got one to kind of compare to this already, it's probably something that Hasbro's already done. Not to say that Toy Biz didn't have some good Iron Man, but Hasbro's played around with them quite a bit. They've tweaked them up over the years. They've made some good ones. But this one right here, I mean, this... excuse me, this one right here is just off the chain, though. I mean, I don't know. Some of the better Iron Man figures that Hasbro's done has mostly been from the MCU. But anyway, we're going to go ahead and crack these guys open. I don't even want to wait anymore. Let's go with... You've been around for a while. We'll do you, Iron Man. So, of course, you know, the packaging is nothing different than basically what was going on last year with the 10 years. So, I like them. I like them, but I don't like them. They would be even better if that little peg to hang them on was more towards the back of the package instead of the center, because... You know, I do like to keep things carded sometimes, you know, or good ones carded. And to get a thumbtack on there is just, yeah, it ain't gonna happen. You need more like a 3-inch nail or something. But, that's the only complaint really I have with them. Other than that, the packages are awesome. But this dude comes with some accessories, man. I mean, they've upgraded on their plasma blast effects, so that should be pretty cool. I'm liking that we got the different options on the heads. The masked head, we got an unmasked head. Tony Stark himself with his little pencil mustache, looking like a playboy and shit. So there he is. Wow, these are really soft compared to the other ones. Yeah, these are really cool. I mean, Hasbro, that's the thing too, is like, you know, there for a while you were skimming us on accessories, and, you know, we've been begging for them, so it looks like you're finally starting to listen. And of course, that's another thing that we are kind of complaining about a little bit. I'm going to complain about it anyway, because I want them to fix that problem. And that's with Man, this is a great figure already. Oh my god, I ain't even done nothing to it yet, but these hands here, that that peg on there does not have a hinge on it, so it's just constantly stuck in that position. And they haven't always done that. They've just recently started doing that, and it's like, okay, no, go back to the way you were doing it. It was much better. So, yeah, I can't straighten dude's hand out for nothing, so, but I'll keep one on at least for now for the review. Go ahead with some of the, go ahead and pop one of these new blast effects on there. These are pretty cool. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Man. And they finally did that to where these don't hinder the articulation much. There's a little disc on the side of his belt or whatever. Dang, man. I mean, he's just so well balanced. It takes nothing to stand. But check that dude out. Look at him. Yeah, you know, I was the least amount excited for this, and I kept thinking, man, this dude's not gonna dub. He's not gonna trump the one that I have on my main display right now, because the one I've got's a pretty darn cool one. But I might have been wrong. This is probably gonna be on my main display, because it's that good. Wow, indeed. So yeah, blast effects. Of course, he comes with 2 fisted hands and 2 open pulsar hands, which is good. I mean, but like I said, my only complaint so far about that figure, and I've barely looked at it, is just that hinge on the hand. That's my only complaint. Now we'll get Captain America out of here, because this one, I mean, it's important to have a good Captain America on your shelf, man. And this is the one. This is the one I've been waiting for. I've had many Captain Americas take the mantle of my main display over the years. But it's going to take some serious changes and just something to replace this one off my shelf. I don't think it's ever going to happen. Now, my only complaint so far about this one, and it's not even a big deal at all, and it's the effect piece with the throwing the shield effect. The direction that it goes when you're supposed to be throwing that shield, I mean, just look at it. It just doesn't really make sense. I mean, you can make it work. You can get it to where he's look like, you know, maybe he's gonna throw it that way or so, I don't know, but it's doable. Like I said, very minimal complaint on that. Not even enough to be noteworthy. I love the dark blues on this. That's already something that's really jumping out at me. And, for God's sakes, the sculpted scale mesh, or whatever it is. The scaled armor. It's sculpted in. It's not just painted on or just completely forgotten about altogether. And let's see. Good. They gave my man a little peg on the back for that shield. That's important too. And you know what? There is absolutely no point, but they did give him a couple pairs. They gave him fisted hands, and I mean fisted hands. And in my opinion, that's all he needs. That's all he needs. The way that shield fits on there, just snaps on the wrist. He don't even need to try to hold nothing. He just needs to be beating people down, knuckles, you know. So, oh yes, that looks amazing. Wow. So just to kind of give you an idea of, I mean, let me get you guys another close look at this. And let's put him up there too with him. Give me a close up of these 80 years. You have to love them. Love them. And if you don't have them already, give me a shout on that, because I've got a few extra that I can hook you up with. I might have bought at least 4 of each between Captain America, Iron Man, and Thor. Yeah, you know, my area is, when it comes to Marvel Legends, man. Like, sometimes I've got to do some serious traveling to find these because they don't always pop up in my area. So when I do see them, and I'm thinking that they may not be in my area anytime soon or whatever, I'll buy them. I'll buy a few of them up because I'm hoping to, find someone else who's having trouble finding them and, make sure they find a good home. So yeah, like I said, Captain America's accessories. He's got the two fisted hands. He's got two gripping hands, and he's got this one shield tossing hand. And there's just not much of a difference in these heads. Yeah, he's a little more neutral and mellow there. And here he's kind of got a little bit of a grimace face, like he's not impressed, but he doesn't look like he's ready to pound somebody. So I don't know. Either way, the head sculpt works on this. An unmasked Steve Rogers head would have been great because they would have, for them to be able to give us something new that really matches this head sculpt would have been great. I've seen people just use kind of some of the old Steve Rogers heads, or maybe even like one of the MCU ones that didn't look nothing like Chris Evans. And it kind of works because it's a little smaller, and he's kind of got a small head here. But the old unmasked Steve Rogers head from Hasbro just had a real blocky, big head, and I don't know if it would work on this buck. But let's go ahead and clear these accessories off of here real quick so I can get some comparisons out. And I'll go ahead and take a closer look at some of these details on these figures. Like, I don't even... It ain't no thing for me because these figures ain't going nowhere. They're going to be on and off my shelves for a minute to come. But those of you out there that don't have them and may not get them, I need to show you how great these are because I'm not going to miss it. I'll have them. Oh, man. That gold paint on there. Jeez. It's probably the best I've ever seen it. It really is. I mean, that is really, really good. Wow. Yeah. And the metallic, almost metallic, shined up cherry red. Man, this is just great right here. And the articulation from head to toe is basically standard on what we'll be expecting from Marvel Legends for a while. The only thing is, well, yeah, they both have the regular ab crunches as opposed to that ball joint ab diaphragm swivel that they've been kind of doing lately. But that's fine, man. I think this still works for these guys, and the way it's sculpted, and it's almost like it's flawless. It's just so streamlined that you don't really see the cut. So that's pretty cool. Now when it comes to these guys, I'm going to go ahead and start. Once again, we'll go ahead and go with Ironman. Do some comparisons on him. Here's the main attraction. Alright, let's pull him. We'll do it this way. Let's just go back to Toy Biz. This might be the only Toy Biz Iron Man that I have, unfortunately. First appearance. There he is in his first appearance armor, straight out of the cave. And wouldn't you know it, they look like they scale pretty good together. That's not bad at all. Yeah, I like it. So yeah, there he is. I mean, and I had a problem with my mask just easily falling off, and I'm sure a lot of people did. So just to not lose it, I got a twist tie around there, and I burnt off the paper off the front part so you can barely see. It's just the wire there. But yeah, it's kept my helmet all these years, so thankfully. First appearance Iron Man. Alright. I think the next best one to compare it to would probably be the one that is closely related to. And I mean, this one did have an alternate head, without the points on it. And we also have our, well, let me grab that real quick. It's not out of the package, but I will grab it. Because that one's probably even, well, no. It's another Iron Man, to say the least. So we'll take a look at that. But no, I mean, the other head portrait to this one, I mean, it's really, that's one thing I didn't like about this before, is just how slim this guy is. He's just very, you know, that's not an armor. That's like spandex with a little bit of clunk on it, you know? There's not a person inside there. This looks more like an armored suit. But yeah, I mean, it's got the ridges on the boots. It's got these side discs. It's got the shoulder bolt. You know, it is the same Iron Man. I believe this one came out during part of the Return of Marvel Legends, the Ironmonger Build-A-Figure wave. I believe that's what this one came from. So, but it is our classic Iron Man. And yeah, so that's... we don't even need that guy anymore. You know? Wow. So, moving on, let's go to... why not? This hunk of junk right here. I guess this is the Guardians of the Galaxy spacesuit Iron Man right here that came in the first Guardians of the Galaxy wave, which was the Build a Groot wave. So yeah, I think the only figure I never ended up getting out of that whole wave was the Rocket Raccoon one. But it was cool because later, I mean, it's cool for people like me who didn't finish the Build-A-Figure, but the ones out there who did, you know, when that Toys R Us exclusive one came out, you're probably butthurt, but I was excited about it because I finally had a Groot. But yeah, this one right here is just, man, he had a place on the shelf for a while, but once my collection got too expansive, and there really wasn't, because I've already got an Iron Man on my main display, and I don't really need another one in my Galactical section, so he doesn't even have a place anymore. He's just one of those that's in a tote now. But really, he probably belonged in a trash can. It was just that god-awful of an Iron Man. I just didn't like it. And it wasn't, it was just the concept, I think. It wasn't quite the sculpt and the suit that bothered me. It was the concept. So he's out of here now. So from that one, I think this one may have been next. And this one I did love. This guy right here, no, he wasn't next. But he was in there. He might have been next. I'm not sure. But this one was the, I guess, nanotech suit. And I just really liked it. It was a good Iron Man. My only beef with it was he was just a little too short. You know, like you could see even right here, he just looks a little shorter than the... And that's just that whole, well, I mean, is there a grown man in that costume? Or is that a teenage boy in armored suit? You know, what is that? So... But still, it looked great. This one was a good Iron Man for its time. And it's pretty much got the same sculpt as that previous one I just showed you. But yeah, he got booted out eventually by an Iron Man. He actually held strong for a long time, and I'm not going to get to that one yet. But there's this one right here, which was, man, a good effort on Iron Man. A good look for Iron Man. But just a little scrawny little, again, they're just, scale matters. It does. This dude looked puny compared to, you know, frickin' Hawkeye or even Wasp. He just looked tiny. I mean, look at him right here compared to this one. You know, they reused this when they did the Iron Patriot, which was also in that Ironmonger wave, and I think this one was too, actually. Was in that wave. But the I can live with it on the Patriot. I just, for Iron Man, I didn't like it. But I liked the figure. I just didn't like the size. It just didn't stack up to the rest of them. But all in all, I mean, you're looking at that. That's a pretty cool Iron Man. It's more of a modern Iron Man look, and it's pretty cool. So, he never really had his spot in my main display. It was the one previous to that did. But what trumped that one and got him off of my display was this one. And I thought, when I first seen the reveal of this, I wasn't too impressed right out of the gate. But I grew to love it, and he took over as my main display Iron Man. And it's another modern version of Iron Man right there. But yeah, I'm sorry about you, buddy, but and this is still a really great Iron Man, and I hope to find another way to display him on my shelf. But because he stacks up, and now granted he's still a little slender looking, but height-wise and everything, he does kind of look like someone who's not into clunky armor, but more of his what's his modern suit in the MCU? I guess it's kind of nano, but it's just kind of like, boom, he hits a button or he does his thing and instant armor. So that's kind of what this is. So it's going to be a little sleeked out, yeah, it's still cool. This one right here is the icing on the cake. This is our new Iron Man. And I think maybe one more comparison that I'll do to it is I'll just bring in an MCU Iron Man. And I think this is probably my favorite one to date. And this was last year's 10-year Iron Man from, I think, Iron Man 2. Absolutely love this figure right here. Jesus. This was my expectations on Iron Man. This was so good that he could have almost been on my main display in my comic book versions of Iron Man. I absolutely love this figure. So, I think when the new one comes out from in-game, I'll love it even more because it kind of resembles this suit a little more. Give or take a little bit, but yeah, it reminds me of that a little more. So, there's our new Iron Man, and with some of his counterparts. So, but needless to say, I absolutely love this one. This is definitely a must-have. If you don't already have the 80-year Iron Man, you're missing out, man. Go get one. Go get one before they're all gone. And if you find out that they're all gone, hit me up. I still got a few of them. So, hook you up somehow. Alright, now we're going to go ahead and move on because it's starting to get hot in this beast. Let's get on with our Captain America. Yes, sir. Oh, yeah. Well, we'll start out with, I guess this would be considered like a first appearance Captain America, and this was kind of early Hasbro during their dark days. But it was also this was the first Marvel Legend Captain America that I owned. So, he had to hold the mantle for a while. And he did. Man, how long did he hold on to it? But, yeah. Captain America. I mean, and this figure wasn't terrible, but there's nothing great about it either. Other than it's probably the only one we have in Marvel Legends line that's like first appearance with that shield and stuff, So, it's cool to have. And since I did him, just for the fun of it, I'm going to bring in the original Bucky that also I think came from that same wave. Early Hasbro, Dark Days. And, yeesh. But it's Bucky. I was like, yeah, I'll take a Bucky. And this is before, I want to say this is before he became Winter Soldier even in the comic books, and this is before he became a big deal in the MCU, and it was just Bucky. It was like, Batman's Robin. It's like, so what? There's nothing special about you. But he became quite a subliminal character, and, a lot of, just, there's a lot more to him than just being Captain America's right-hand man. So anyway, it's a cool figure. It's another, I'd say it's another gem to have in your Marvel Legend collection because he was there one day and gone the next. And since I was talking about Bucky, I'll just bring in kind of what changed Marvel Legends and made them better was when this dude right here, Bucky Cap, was introduced to us. Because that's what gave birth to the Bucky Cap mold, which has been retooled and gone on and probably even shares parts with this even modern version. It looks like, at least from the hip to the knee to the, yeah, are still Bucky Cap legs. So definitely reuse some parts still off of this guy. But yeah, I love this Captain America. It was pretty cool, but he just you know, seems kind of tiny for Captain America, but it worked. I mean, this is the Bucky Cap Buck. The Bucky Cap. Love it. So, alright. Got Bucky out the way. Let's get back to Captain America himself. So, I was still eager and still looking for a good Captain America to put on my shelf. And Return to Marvel Legends came out. And they brought us, I want to say this is Ultimate Captain America. With the gray pants. And I was like, finally, we're getting there. I've got a pretty cool Captain America. So this is the guy that took my main spot on the shelf there for a while. And it looks pretty good. And then somewhere in between this one, I'll get a close look at that one, because it's not bad. It ain't bad. I like the vest. I like the belt. I hated the sculpting and gun though. I mean, everybody hated that, and we still do. Stop doing it. You know, it's easy to make a holster. It's easy to put a gun in. Just do it. So yeah, along the way, we got this one. Colonel Steve Rogers. And this is what I meant by the unmasked. This is probably the most recent unmasked Captain America head that I think we have. Because it's still being used even in our, well, was it still being used? I think it's still being used. It wasn't in the retro wave. And I don't think they gave it to the werewolf cap either, but it worked still. But I don't think that head will work on this new Captain America, and I don't even really want to try it, because just looking at it, I mean, he's got such a long face here, and it's not going to work. So, but anyways, my only disappointment about this figure, because I was eager to see it in 6-inch scale, because before this one was available in 6-inch form, they were doing the Marvel Universe 3/4 inch ones, and they had him in 3/4 inch version, and that one was awesome. It had a great head sculpt on it. It was just awesome, and I was hoping that's what we would get in the 6-inch form, and this is what we got instead. So, I liked the figure, just did not like the head sculpt. So, that was that one. And then finally, shortly after those, we got that 3-pack. And I finally felt like I got the Captain America to put on my shelf that looked like our classic Captain America. That's this one here. And I think that 3-pack was him, Miss Marvel, and Radioactive Man. I think that's what the 3-pack was with this one. So, yeah, he stood there for a while, man. He was holding it down. And I didn't think nothing would boot him off the shelf unless it was the original Toy Biz, you know, Face Off or whatever, Captain America, which I still to this day don't have. So, no. This dude ended up getting replaced against my better judgment at the time, but because of the height-wise even, because he was a little short here, he got replaced by what's been known as, I guess, what, the werewolf cap? And that's him with the big boxy looking head. You know, I just did not care for that head portrait on here. Everything else about it was okay. Because it was a new sculpt and everything for Captain America. But like they didn't even, it's almost like they didn't even try, because there's no chainmail on there, nothing like that. Not even penciled in or nothing. But height wise, you see they stack up, man. This is, you know, at least where they were heading in a better direction for the Captain Americas. And then, well, oh, I missed out on the Iron Man. Sorry, I forgot to put this guy out so you can see when I had the Iron Man out. But they also kind of, a little bit of a resemblance, you know. So, blah, blah, blah with the Iron Man. We're not even on Iron Man anymore. So, but because we're talking about this guy, I wanted to bring this out and show you. Even though it was after the fact. The retro Captain America here. And at least on this one, they attempted by, I guess, painting in this the chainmail on here. But it still didn't make it a greater Captain America. It was just a little bit better. This new one, however, yeah, well, see, he falls under pressure. The new guy, he's grounded. Alright, well, let's get him out of here. And one more comparison to this guy. We'll just throw out an MCU cap. There you go. More of a recent MCU cap. So, yeah, that's been our comparisons, at least the comparison segment of this video. Now let's get into the closing chapter of it, shall we? So here we are with our 80 years Iron Man and Captain America from Hasbro. And just bow down to them. They are what we've been waiting for in an action figure form. So if you don't have these yet, get them, people. I can't say that enough. Get these guys. You will not be disappointed. Especially, I mean, I'm going to say especially for both of them, but this Iron Man is just, it impressed me way more once I got him out of the package than seeing him in the package. Like, I was just like, I seen him and I was like, nah. But I busted him open and you saw me do it. Like, my attitude towards that figure just totally changed instantly. So, and the Captain America, I was already excited about it, but I did not get disappointed at all. So, I still hold high regard to this Captain America right here. But yeah, I don't want to keep stretching these videos out and making them real long because eventually you're just going to get bored. But when we're talking some good stuff, hopefully I can keep your attention. But I'm going to go ahead and jump off here, man. I hope you guys like these. I definitely hope you guys are collecting these. I hope you like my videos. Don't forget to comment. And please don't forget to share them. And like I said again, man, if you see me on YouTube, subscribe because I'll be there. MasterMarvel is out. Peace, y'all.